Hello everyone, I hope that you are having a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whatever time it is. So I know there are some people who are thinking about going into school psychology and they're like, should I do a master's or should I go and get my PhD? So what I'm gonna do is try to break it down for you, the differences between the master's, specialist, and PhD, and something that really helped and what I'm going to be referring to is something that NAS put up, and it kind of breaks it down. So I want to go through those sections because I think they broke it down really well, and then I'm going to try to relate it to how my program was with just the master's and specialist, because I didn't get my PhD, but I did get the master's and specialist degree. So I'll try to break it down in relation to that. So for the master's level, in my program, we got a master's of science, and that's where you get your 60 credits, 36 hours. It takes 2 years. So in your program, you have your first and your second year, and then you get your master's degree. The thing is with this, you can't really do much with it. I mean, there might be a couple states that allow you to do school psychologist work, maybe, but there's not really much that you can do with just the master's degree. You also would not get accredited and wouldn't be able to be a nationally certified school psychologist, and this doesn't require the internship. Now, when you get the specialist level, that's your year where you're on internship, and that's 1 extra year after you got your master's. So 2 years working towards your master's of science, master's of arts, depending on the program, and then you're gonna get your specialist degree, which is 1 year doing the internship. And this is where, for our program, we got the EDS certification, which is the education specialist. For this is 3 years when you include the master's, and the internship, there is certain qualifications for it. So it needs to be at least 1,200 hours for the whole year, or sometimes you can break it down so that you're doing 600 and then maybe you needed a break and then you can do another 600 hours. I believe if you do the 600 hours and then 600 hours again, it has to be within 2 years. I'm pretty sure. Like, you can't do 600 hours and 3 years later do another 600 hours, but I'm not 100% sure on that. With the specialist degree, this is when you are a school psychologist and you can practice. So you have to have both in order to do that. But you can pretty much only work in a school compared to the PhD, which I will get to now. So you can have your PhD or your PsyD, and you would be considered to have your doctoral level degree for school psychology. And with this, the programs are usually, I think, 5 to 7 years from beginning to end, including the internship that you're doing as well. And honestly, I think the internship is a little longer. Like, you can do 1,200 hours, but you might do like more than that depending on the program. And also, with that said, your semester hours are gonna be more. So for us, it's like master's plus 30, and I think your hours are in the 60s range. But if you're doing your doctoral level, then your doctorate is in the 90s semester hours. So again, I'm pretty sure this varies depending on program to program, but this is the general overview. And with that said, again, after you finish your doctoral level, instead of just being in a school, you have a broader range. So you can be in a school, but you could work in a hospital, have your own practice. You could work in academia, research, so you could be a professor, things like that. It pretty much just gives you more options. In terms of the pay, I feel like that really depends. Like, I know some people who are getting paid only like a couple thousand more from the people who have the master's degree versus the PhD, but it gives you more of a range of things you can do. So if you want to be a school psychologist, but you don't always want to work in a school, then you'll probably want to get your PhD. If you want to do research and research heavily, then you'll want to get your PhD. But I personally feel like if you just want to be in a school and you don't want to go on for 5 years of schooling and a PhD, then you should be fine with just the master's. I feel like there's a lot of pressure to get your PhD, and there's nothing wrong with that if you want to, but I don't feel like you need to be a great school psychologist. And you can still be really involved with, you know, going to the conferences and helping people with research, but don't feel like you have to get your PhD. But if you want to, definitely go for it. So, all right, everyone, I hope that this helped you and gives you kind of a clear understanding what the different levels are and how long the schooling takes if you want a specialist degree or a doctorate, and how you get your master's first, but you need to do more schooling if you want to be the school psychologist. Like, you can't just stop after 2 years. But all right, everyone, I hope that you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.